So for example, we have a Compose desktop app ourselves, which is JetBrains Toolbox, which is the app where you can manage all of your different installations of JetBrains IDEs, as well as Android Studio, of course. So we have hot reload working, for example, for JetBrains Toolbox. So you can see here as we're editing the code base of that application, we can see live changes inside Toolbox, which does say a lot because, while it is just a Compose desktop application, it's also a quite complex one. So it's really cool that hot reload is able to support that for us. And then you remember that I showed you all of those different components of hot reload working together. That kind of flexibility also means that we can use it not just for standalone desktop apps, but also when Compose is running in a different context on desktop. Namely, we can use it when developing UI for IntelliJ itself. So on the bottom here, we have that light themed IntelliJ idea, which has the code base of IntelliJ itself open. And then that's running the IntelliJ that's on the top of the screen in debug mode, basically just as a local build. So on the bottom, we have UI that's implemented in Compose that we can edit. And that Compose UI is being rendered in a panel inside the IntelliJ on top. And for something like plugin development, this is actually super, super useful because we don't have to rebuild IntelliJ and relaunch it and open a project in it and so on, and then look at the plugin. But instead, we can just edit the code of some UI in IntelliJ like this, and you can see that the changes just show up essentially in real time using Compose hot reload. So again, a really powerful use case. I think that's everything that I wanted to cover today. Thank you so much for tuning in for a bit of Compose hot reload. In terms of resources, again, you can find Compose hot reload on GitHub. If you want to try it, you can try the samples that are in there in the repository. We also have the Kotlin conf app, of course, configured with Compose hot reload. So if you want to try it in a larger, real application, you can also see that repo for more. And then we have some official content from Sebastian Selmayr, who's the main author of Hot Reload, where he covers some of the implementation details and tells the story of how this was all built in much greater detail than I could. So there's a great Kotlin conf talk from him, and he also created some interesting content on YouTube as well as on his blog that you can check out. And I think that's everything. So I think we can basically go to questions if we have any.